welcome you to another edition. Now, when you are speaking, no examiner, no teacher tests your spelling. Whether you are using double C or double R or EI or IE, whatever you are using, nobody will be able to test your spelling. Spellings are only tested in writing. That shows the importance attached to spelling in writing. In fact, you should know that when you make any spelling error in the exam, in your final exam, I have been telling you it is minus half. Take note of that. So, within the next few episodes, we'll be looking at spelling, which will help your writing, whether narrative, descriptive, or argumentative, or whatever. Once you write, your spellings are tested. Okay? So, take note of this. It will help you a lot. Now, what's the first rule? I'm going to give you some rules, but no examiner will ask you what is rule 1, what is rule 2, what is rule 3. No. All that will be tested is your application. How are you able to apply this rule to your writing? So let's go on. Now, if you look at the first one there, in general, I comes before E. Okay? I comes before E. Now look at E, 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 I-E, 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 I-E. You have believe, breathe, chief, and so on, mischief. Okay? You see that it is I-E, I-E, I-E. Now, I now put an exception there, except C in some words. So let's go ahead. Now, look at the following words on the board again. You see that it is still IE. You have IE. You have IE in relief. You have IE in... You have IE, retrieve, you have IE, you have IE, you have IE. All the words IE, IE, IE. Take note that you are not using E for I or I for E. Now, what am I now saying? Look at these words now. You see, you have C here, you have C here, you have C here, you have C here, you have C. It's no more IE, but it is EI. Believe, IE. Receive, EI. Take note. Believe, IE. Receive, EI. Some students will now write receive and then write IE. It's wrong. So look at this. You have EI, you have EI, you have EI, you have EI. Is that clear? Once it has a C, it's EI. Other ones, IE. Take note. Now, you now have occasions where you have EI when you have the spelling E. Look at all these words. EI, neighbor. Look at this. Look at all these words on the board. You will see that they have EI. Okay? They have EI. You have fail, you have neighbor, foreign, obeisance, freight, rain, height, suffix, counterfeit, weight, leisure. All these ones, they have EI. EI, EI, EI. Don't forget. Okay, that's our rule 2. Now we go ahead. Now, when the vowel, take note of this, when the vowel combination follows E or T, the T is pronounced like the sh, as in sheep. Look at this. A shan't. It's not receive or the other one. It's ancient. conscience, sufficient, efficient, and so on and so forth. Sufficient. Now, these rules, you must learn them and then apply them to your various classes. We go ahead. Now, if I ask you to, before you look on the board, if I ask you to spell supersede, for example, without looking at the board, I've seen it in so many schools. Supersede, they will say S-U-P-E-R-C-E-D-E. No. The only word in English that ends in S-E-D-E is the word supersede. Look at it. It's not S. It's not C. It's S. Supersede. Now, all the other words that have the T sound will now be, look at this, exceed, supersede, S, exceed, C, proceed, C, succeed, C. It's very easy to confuse them. Oh, they have the same pronunciation, supersede, concede, but supersede has an S and concede has a C. So take note of that. That's our rule 3. Okay? Words S-E-E-D and with that sound. Am I communicating so far? It's very easy. Now, you can only know this when you are writing. So after writing, I will advise you to go over, use the last 5 minutes. Okay? Before the invigilator says, pens up, go over. You are not infallible. You can make errors. Look for spelling errors in what you have written. I always advise my students, don't spend the whole 1 hour writing. Some students will continue writing until the invigilator comes and collect the paper. No, that's a wrong method. It's a wrong method. You need to go over what you have. Spend the last, you are given 1 hour. 1 hour to plan, 5 minutes to plan, 5 minutes to read over, and then you use 15 minutes to write. That will help you a lot. Don't overlook that I've written everything. You can make mistakes. Okay? So, rule 4. Now, again, you have concede. For this, you have precede, recede, secede. Take note of that. Okay? It will help you a lot. Now, look at this one. Okay? And then look at the past tense. And then look at this. So you have panic. Okay? And then you have picnic, panic, mimic, frolic, traffic. And look at their past tense. And then you have the ing, picnicking, panicking, mimicking, frolicking. And what am I trying to say here is that you have the here, and then you have ed, ked, ked, j-ed, k-ed, ing. Okay? These are things you have to look at. Okay? There's an exception to that. Look at this one. You have this, and that is also possible there. Take note of that. Okay? For that one, it's an exception to the rule. Okay? Now, you now see some words, an accented single consonant at the end of a word is doubled when the vowel suffix is added. Now you have admit, okay, and then you now have tted, admitted. You have T here, double T, T here, double T, T here, double T. Commit, committed. MMTT, TTT, T, 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 and so on and so forth. We have more examples there. You have R, then RR, take note, okay, defer, RR. This one is a common error. I've seen it in so many writings. Occurred. And students will spell occurred with one R. It's wrong. You have CC, RR. Okay? Then you have infer, then RR, inferred, refer, referred, worship, worshipped. Is that clear? T, T, T. Okay, we go ahead. There are exceptions to this rule. Don't forget, in the first one I told you, when we were spelling refer, R, E, F, E, R, R. Can you remember? Now we now come to the word offer. Now you now have O, F, F, E, R, E, D. Not double R. Referred, RR. Offered, single R. These are minor things that can take away your mark. So you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful with them. Look at the next one. Severe, develop, gallop, and suffered. Okay? These are exceptions to this rule. Please take note, take note, take note, take note. You will discover that they will help your writing to flow. So you don't deal with, you see, when students come out, what did you pick? I wrote a narrative essay. I wrote to my father. What about you? I picked question 9. Forgetting that any question you pick, the way you put it down is even more important. Content is just 10 marks. Organization is 10 marks. The expression and then the mechanical accuracy, how many marks? That's 30 marks. So the way you put it, you have 30 marks. Very important. So when you get to the exam hall or your teacher is giving you an essay to write, after you are finished writing the essay, look at it. Look at your essay very well, that there are no spelling errors. Are you with me? So we go ahead. Look at more example. Ballot, ballotted, budget, budgeted, offer, offered, credit, credited, bigot, bigoted. Okay? Now we go ahead. You have words ending in LL usually drop one L when adding another word to form it. Already. Okay? Full, feel. Okay? Hate, full, all, most. Take note of that. Okay? And then, but you have enroll, welfare, welcome, joyful, peaceful, and all this will help you a lot. Now, the exceptions to this rule, you have all round, farewell, the LL, fullness, LL, spell down, spellbound, LL, stillness, LL, unroll, LL. It's different from enroll. So don't confuse unroll to enroll. Enroll single L, unroll LL. Okay? There are always exceptions to the rules. Okay? Then make, you drop the E, then you add ing. Take note. You have make, drop the E, making. Fame plus OUS, famous. Okay? Believe, believable. Okay, you drop the E in cases like this. Please take note. Okay? Go ahead. And then you have E, you drop the E, you drop the E, you drop the E there. And so what do you have? You have expensive, you have biting, example, writing, and blamable. Now we look also that always you have issuing, move, movable, create, creator, grieve, grievous. Take note of the spelling of grievous. It's not that when you spell grievous, it's not there's no I there. It's grievous. Take note. And then I have, like normally, exception to this rule. Advantage. What do you have? You have advantageous. You have courage. You don't drop the E in these ones. Change, changeable. Manage, manageable. Is that clear? So these are exceptions to the rule. Marriage, marriageable. Notice, noticeable. Peace, peaceable. And then finally you have service, service. Take note. You drop E in some cases. You don't drop the E in some other cases. Okay? Now, look at this. When you single L, you now double it. You have cancel. You have LL, cancelled. Okay? You have equaled. You have labeled. And then you have impaired. LL, LL, LL. These are simple rules which I want you to take. Take note of marvel, marvelous, prepare, propelled, marshal, quarrel, quarrel. Now take note of this. I want you to take note of this. QUARRELLED. Okay? Rivaled, cancelled, and so on and so forth. Parallel, unparalleled, perilous. So, these are some of the things. I'm going to give you 2 assessments today. Okay? I get A. Now look at the following. Did you have to put whether it is EI or IE. Did you dash my letter? What a dash person. You just put whether it is EI or IE. Then she has lost dash. And then what is dash? And then do you dash him? He is dash. That's a big dash. Mary is my best dash. Very easy. You should get everything in this one. So, but look at the next one. They have lost that. Now look at the next one. Now, put a suitable form of the verb in bracket. Tell us what dash after the game. Tell us what dash. I want you to know how you should put that. Number 2, you have dash a vital point. What should be the correct form of the verb? And notice, no dash. No dash. We stop to watch some men dash a trench at the end of the road. The man dashed his offense when he was arrested. We spent a long time dash the exhibition. Mrs. Victoria has dashed your complaint to me. Now, you will discover that in this episode, we have looked at EI or IE, single R or RR, L or LL. Please, I implore you to go over them and do this. In the next episode, we are still going to look at other aspects of spelling. I'm sure you have enjoyed this lesson. I have enjoyed bringing it to you because I know I want you to do well in spelling when you write. Have a victorious, triumphant day.